I know you read that title. Now wait, before you start shoving pitchforks in my face, let me explain myself. If you're an artist, especially a digital artist, then line art has become a pinnacle part of digital art. Whether you dread it or enjoy it, most digital artists decide to line their sketch. So now, take everything you know about line art and throw it in the bin, because today we are not talking about line art. So why am I asking you to stop doing line art? Well, I'm about to tell you today in this video. But first, I'd really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. That way, I could potentially reach my 1,000 sub goal and keep making videos for you guys. With that out of the way, let's discuss why you should stop doing line art. First of all, I want to clarify that doing line art isn't bad at all. In fact, when done right, line art can really elevate an art piece. But my goal is to get you guys out of your comfort zone, and also explain the perks of skipping the line art stage. Now, for starters, line art tends to coincide with neatness. It's when artists attempt to perfect the image of their sketch with the smoothest lines possible. But in reality, sometimes this takes away from the raw potential of the sketch. All the messy lines and extra marks on your sketch add so much character to an art piece, whereas line art takes away a lot of the character in exchange for a more polished look. It also takes up probably the largest part of the drawing process, since most people tend to stick to one single line, trying to perfect it over and over. At least that's what I tend to do. You'll start noticing that skipping this stage of your artwork entirely actually leads to you finishing your artwork a lot more quickly. I know exactly what you're gonna say. But Komori, how can I make my art look good if there's no line art? Well, don't worry, dear artist. I will explain it to you in just a few short steps. Today, our lucky volunteer as our test subject will be Asmodeus Alice, a character from one of my favorite shows, Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. If you like anime, then I heavily recommend this show. The character design is amazing, and the show is absolutely hilarious. And Asmodeus is one of my favorite characters of all time, period. But let's move on to the part you've been waiting for before I start gushing endlessly about him. So, first and foremost, make your sketch. This is a pretty obvious first step, but I thought I should still clarify. After you're done creating your sketch, don't go and make another layer on top just yet. I know you're tempted to. Instead, start cleaning up your sketch instead. The most important part is that you don't have to erase everything. Just focus on things like guidelines or things that obstruct the view of your sketch. Other than that, a few messy lines here and there actually adds a ton of character. Then, instead of making a layer on top, now we're going to add a layer below our sketched layer. Lower the opacity of your sketch to your choosing. In my opinion, 50% is alright. Now start layering your flat colors, using your sketch itself as your line art. That's right, our sketch has become our line art. After you're finished with your flat colors, you can get straight into rendering. This is the brush I like to use for rendering, since it's slightly slanted and adds weight to my lines. If you use Ibis Paint, then I really recommend trying it out. Now, you have two options here. Leaving the sketch opaque and visible allows for your sketch to blend with your rendered colors, creating a cool effect. You can also just decide to hide your sketch now and render with just your flat colors showing. In this case, I just like to layer darker shades closer to the edge of my flat colors. Either way is perfectly fine, especially since we have no nasty line art to deal with. I'm not going to delve into rendering in this video, but let me know if I should make another video on how I render my artwork. Anyways, here's the final result. In my opinion, I feel like I had a lot more fun moving straight from sketch to color, than mulling over making my line art perfect. But at the end of the day, you choose how you want your art to look. What do you think? Is line art something you like or dislike in an art piece? Let me know in the comments below. This was just a really fun technique I wanted to test out, and if you think it could help you improve, then give it a try. Personally, I enjoy experimenting with different drawing techniques such as these, and broadening my styles for art. Trying new things is one of the best ways to improve your art skills, so don't be afraid to think outside the box every once in a while. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, and if you have any requests for future videos. With that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!